There goes that man.
Welcome back to the show. ThonLexy, your host. Hit the subscribe button on your way into the room. Also hit the notification bell to be notified every single time we go live. Let's get it. Oh man, we got a show for you guys today. I'm excited to be able to react to Anton Daniels' panel. It's been a while since I've reacted to some Anton Daniels content, so we're gonna get into it. Much love. He always starts good conversations with black women and gets good dialect going with all different types of people, not just black women. Let's get into it. Hit the like button on your way into the room. Everything over 20 qualifies as a show sponsor. If we reach that goal of of $100 in the cash app, we come back here tomorrow and react again, guaranteed, to Kendra G, okay? Let's go ahead and do it. You guys good? How y'all doing? Y'all having a good day? Welcome. Let's make it happen.
To achieve a new dimension.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook. What the hell is even that?
Thumbs up, thumbs up. Welcome, welcome. Shouts out to Anton Daniels, everybody who tunes into that show. If you support Anton Daniels, show some love in the comment section so we can shout you out. Everybody who supports Snellville, Georgia in the building. What's going on? Las Vegas in the building. In just a second, we're going to discuss the theme of the show. Let's go ahead and clear the board because we need a new sponsor. Much love to Hepburn. He sponsored last show, but he's got to go. Much love. What's up, Edwina? Let's get it. Las Vegas in the building. Time to discuss divestors, interracial dating. I'm glad to be able to just grace some different topics for every once in a while, just to show people how broad I am and how I've got all the corners covered. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Let's have a good show. This was almost a 3-hour panel. We got plenty of content to react to, and it got interesting. And there's another woman on the panel who went by the name of Ava. And Ava put up one hell of a fight against the women who had a lot of delusional things to say. Most of us will probably be on Ava's side. We're gonna get into it. Ava kind of lost control. Things spiraled. She started yelling, and it got interesting. And it was funny because Anton just kind of sat there pretty chill. Very stoic as it all rolled out, and it made for an entertaining watch. So I decided that I would share it with my audience because it's lengthy. So I was like, man, this would be a great topic because again, we always talk. This has been a conversation for a while, believe it or not. Way back, even in like the 80s, people were having conversations with black women about why they were losing their men to white women. They were trying to help them out. They were like, hey man, there's a reason why you guys are losing so many men to white women. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Waiting to Exhale, in that scene where the guy with the leather suit on outside, who she wouldn't let him in, and he was talking shit. He was like, that's what's wrong with you black women today. And he was drunk and he was and he was going on and on. That was way back in 1994. And he basically was saying a lot of the stuff that you hear men complaining about black women today, about how they're not submissive and how they don't want to listen. And it just puts into perspective that this has been a long-running like conversational war between black men and black women. And I find it entertaining. Just watching black women try to hold back their malice when it comes to black men dating white women, it's funny. It's funny to me. More than it's educational, it is a little bit funny because they say that they don't care. They say that they don't care what we do as long as we don't shame them on our way over there, which that's BS. That's BS. They always act like, it ain't the problem. Like, we don't care if you're going to go date with the white girl. We just don't want you shaming us. Well, why don't y'all do that to the famous people then? Because the famous people like Childish Gambino, people who are of the eclectic personality spectrum in the black community, when they blow up, black women are always like, why'd you want to choose a white girl when they know that they wouldn't have dated the anime guy or the skateboard guy? They know they wouldn't have. But they always get upset when black men who would have never been seen by black women and never been considered by black women on any day of the week. You guys hate to see these men go to white women. And that's something that I've noticed. It doesn't really take black men insulting white women on their way over there, or it doesn't take black men insulting black women on their way to white women to trigger you guys. All they have to do is go over there. Let's just stop. Let's just stop with the games. Let's have a good show. Somebody said she's from Jersey. Yeah, the comment section, they really hate JAS, the JAS girl. They were overwhelmingly like, never bring JAS back and like whatever. But then when I watched, I was like, no, she's the reason why we do this. It's women like her that, without silly women just shooting from the hip before they've thought their point of views through, we wouldn't even have the popularity of this space wouldn't even exist. That's the truth. This space wouldn't even be what it is. So as much as we're all going to probably come down on JAS, she's necessary. Other women can learn from the mistakes of the women who are just way off the rails and overly emotional and overly in that victim mentality. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this show and let the conversation progress. I'm starting the conversation at 40 minutes, but it really picks up around like the 15-minute, like maybe like the 55-minute mark. So I'm gonna let the conversation kind of progress into the good part. Let's go ahead and rock.
Yes, feminism fucked us up. Yes, there are other things that have came into place that have put us.
Whoa, let's go back. That sounds good. Hold on.
Above regular divorces and above men that are gay also. So if you want to like cite data, we can cite that too. But the eye test and instincts, that also plays a role. It's like watching basketball. You can do, the plus minus when a person is on the floor, but you still got to have that eye test. We know who we want the hands, who want the ball when the shot clock is going down. We know who it is as, making the impact plays when we watching the game. We know who can't check who when you on the floor. And the fact of the matter is, y'all pick and choose to rock out with the whole black thing when it's convenient for y'all, but y'all really don't fuck with nobody but y'all. The sisterhood don't even fuck with itself. Y'all don't even fuck with y'all. That's right. And I witnessed that. They don't even like each other.
That's right. And y'all the first ones to bring down a black business. And I know firsthand, the first ones, my biggest problem at my store is black women. My only problem at my store is black women.
That just happened.
Y'all will destroy the shit out of a black business. I just seen a video the other day.
There's something that I'm seeing on like on social media, all over social media. I'm seeing black women saying that you have to pay like a reserve fee. Like, I don't see this in other communities where you have to pay a if you don't show up on time fee. I'm seeing it with hair salon owners, nail techs, lash techs. They're literally creating rules just for late black people. And she's right. It's this thing where we don't respect each other's businesses as much. And it's a part of all the rants that I go on when I say that we're not unified. I don't like hearing the selective black unity either. I almost don't care anymore because we're divided on everything, like everything. And on certain topics, we try to say, oh, but for the community, it's like, man, get out of here. I'm not, that's old and it's cheap. We got to be better than that. We got to stop accepting that.
Of a man in California.
Yeah, okay, I was just about to say that. They shot his thing up.
Yeah. And fucks his business up. And now that's a black business.
Talking about the chef.
Yeah,
they totally shit.
So y'all can miss me with that black power
turkey
bullshit. Y'all can miss me with that fucking we need to come together as Black people and do this and support this and Black owned. All that shit is bullshit that be coming out of Black women's mouth. Y'all motherfuckers will destroy the shit out of somebody's business and go home and sleep beautiful at fucking night.
And his business was in the community. His was actually in the hood. Now he has to move out the hood.
Listen, listen, you're talking to the wrong one. We don't even have to cite that. I've opened up restaurants personally, and I've documented on this channel. I've opened up restaurants, built it with my own two hands, put my own money into it. The first restaurant that I ever opened up was in the hood, and it cost me $142,000 of my own money. And you know who the ones that actually supported it? Over 65% of white people were the ones that actually supported it. Yeah. So, you know, like, if you asking for data, I lived it. Like in real life. That's right. I really did live it in real life. Like right there. The first thing that happened, the day that we opened, I had a Black guy steal the fucking phone. Damn. I hired all Black people and they stole from me and they walked the chicken. They wasn't even just stealing out of the register. They was taking the boxes on delivery day and moving it right out the fucking back door and putting it in their pickup truck. Whole chicken, whole catfish, whole everything. And I don't even say.
Okay. I'm glad that this conversation is happening because I get a chance to share some of my personal stories. Shouts out to all of my people back in my Popeyes days, all of my Popeyes workers. How y'all doing? Some of y'all might tune in every day. A lot of people know that was my first job, Popeyes. Loved that job. Taught me how to deal with all type of personalities and just get good with people. And learn to never come back to the hood. But yeah, they're like, I work for some of the most sketchy shift leaders ever in the history of shift leaders, boy. Like they used to just like the Black shift leaders that I used to work for, and I hate to do this, but only the Black. Well, there was one white woman who stole, but she was, you know, we all know that rednecks are basically like sort of white Black people in a way, not like literally, but in the way that they think. She was a redneck, so she don't count. By my Black supervisors, they just all they did was just create creative reasons to justify theft. They would just. Like, there was this woman who I worked with. She was crazy. She used to get mad at me because I wouldn't take, like, the old, like, stuff that we were throwing out. She would get mad that I wouldn't, like, collect. Like, she would try to, like, bring home dogs. She would try to bring home bones for her dog. Like, I'm like, bitch, who do you think you're talking to? I'm not about to mess with these dog, like, whatever. We end up getting into it about it. Man, I almost got that chick fired, and I didn't want to, but I came to the supervisor like, who is this chick? Like, isn't she basically stealing? Like, like, stop playing with me. I'll trick on you. Stop playing. Because if you come around me with that bull, I might let the supervisor know what you be on, right? And she was trying to make me collect these chicken bones. I'm like, lady, you're nuts. I'm not about to be collecting like chicken bones for your dog at the end of the night. I already got to deal with this greasy ass bird every day, and I gotta whatever. I got old ratchets who I used to deal with coming in bothering me. I got all type of weird stuff happening to me up here. I'm not about to collect dog bones for you. It's like, and you're trying to help me steal with you. She was nuts. And she knows who she is. If she watching it, she knows who she is. You're crazy. I'm glad they fired you. They fired her. Okay. But yeah, they right, man. Like, Black people don't respect no business. Like, it ain't even just Black-owned businesses. In my experience at working, man, Black people don't respect nobody's business. Even people who employ them. They be like, man, they ain't finna kill me up in here. You only hear a Black person say that. Man, they ain't finna kill me up in here. It's like, nigga, you at work. You getting paid. What you talking about?
This type of stuff because I'm not bitter about it. You know what I'm saying? I understand the game. I understood the risk. I know what it means. I tried to create something in an environment that didn't have plexiglass up and shit like that. This sounds like a horror movie. And that's the type of stuff that I had to deal with on a regular basis. So, you know, I don't think, but here's the thing.
I don't know if I want to watch it. I might get depressed.
And I don't think that it's all one thing. But the problem is that
sound angry.
We can't keep blaming everybody else culturally when we have our own shit to fix within your own environment. You got to pick up the stuff off your own grass before you start moving out into other places, because no matter where you go, you still gonna take you with you. And so all I'm saying is two things can be true at the same time. I think that the woman was wrong for calling the kid out of his, out of his name. And I do think that we have more issues that we need to be concerned about, whether or not a video go viral or not. So
can I just want to ask a question to either Jess or Janae. I'm genuinely curious as to what you think that we can't do that Asians or white people can actually do. And I'm genuinely asking. I'm not trying to be hostile, but what can't we do? And what do you think we can't do? And why are we telling our babies that they can't do something?
I don't think it's a matter of what we can't do. I think when we talk about this subject, we need to take into consideration some historical pieces that have happened with that. When you think about Asian families, even African families, families from the Middle East, they already have their foundation. And oftentimes when they move here, they pretty much have a solid foundation, and they're coming here because they want to. They've been able to acquire certain things. Whereas, for an example, Black folks, or those who identify as Black or African American, a lot of times culturally we have been brought here against our will, so we don't have.
With all due respect,
you can't ask a question and not allow me to answer it, right?
I just want to know what we can't do.
I'm gonna get to that, right? So I'm saying that we have had some things that have set us back a little bit further than some other communities. So it's not a matter of what we can't do. We just have not been placed in the right position to get to where some of these other people have gotten, right? Some people say, well,
okay, I'm gonna pivot to where they bring jazz in, because that's what the draw is, and I don't want to deny the people what they're here for. Some people might not want to get into the Black social commentary aspect of the conversation too much. I'm gonna be considerate to the people who are brought in through the marketing. Okay. Looks like they bring jazz in around 44-17.
To twerk, teach them to read and do other things with themselves. Stop letting them watch crazy stuff on TV. Stop watching crazy stuff in front of them. There's so many other things we could be doing, except blaming everybody else because it's us. That's it. Call me
and
racist.
Glorifying the hood. I'm so tired of everybody celebrating because they from the hood. This is my
Free
block.
Ray
You
Ray.
don't own
Like, come on
anything
now.
on this block.
Right,
it's
so
crazy.
if
Somebody go to jail for murder, you asking for him to be free. I don't understand. If he went to jail for killing somebody, why are y'all wearing t-shirts or writing free this person? No, he's where he needs to be. He's an animal.
Killing somebody
animals
in the
belong behind
community.
cages.
Okay. Is
We
anybody
can make
else?
all the excuses in the world, but
even in the Black community, you go into these stores and these people got plexiglass up to protect themselves because they can't even sell to you in your community because they're afraid of they're afraid they're gonna lose their life. Like, we the only community that has stuff like that, and it's embarrassing. Like, do y'all understand when somebody has to put up a big glass in front of them, or a bulletproof glass, just to sell you a bag of potato chips?
Bars.
And y'all want to walk around talking about Black power, Black excellence? Where? When?
What's up,
never.
Jacob?
Y'all need to grow up. Y'all be praising the stupidest stuff. And that's the thing. Y'all praise stuff.
We can't hear you, Jess. Anybody else want to comment before we move on? Yeah, we can't hear you, Jess. You gotta change your audio settings. Come back. Okay, let me get to the super chats. And then we'll get to the next topic.
I was gonna say, as Anton said, two things can exist. I agree with the stuff that y'all are saying in terms of being accountable in the Black community. There's nothing wrong with that. That wasn't the point that I made, nor was that the point that we were talking about when it comes to just society. So two things can exist, but it doesn't, just because I take accountability doesn't negate other people taking accountability too. So when we talk about these things, we, like you said, yes, what you're saying, sure, yes, absolutely. I root for you. Yes, what you're saying is factual. Also, what she's saying and what I'm saying is also factual.
Okay. All right. Good icebreaker. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We do appreciate you guys here every Monday with us, every night. Okay, that was just icebreaker. Icebreakers be long like topics nowadays. Welcome, Jazz.
What did I miss?
Jazz, we were doing we're
Girl,
talking
a lot.
about the woman.
I mean, what I heard, I was like, what?
The slur
that we doing tonight?
The white woman that said the slur to the black child and she raised, that's the topic we were discussing.
Oh, everybody felt that was okay for her to do, right?
No, some people disagreed.
No, Jazz.
I know who was here. Okay, if we done with it, I'm not even about to take this on any longer. We moved.
It's okay. We'll go to the next. We're not done with white women yet. White women, we have more topics about y'all, but let me get to the super chat. But shout out to y'all in the chat. We see y'all. Brothers Keeper says, first is Carmelo, then it's the white lady in the park. Now it's a father who avenged his son. They never stop manipulating us. Coming in hot says, he didn't tell one lie in that interview. And the only women that are up in arms are the exact same woman he's talking about. Hit dogs always holler. Quentin says, you can't say that. Oh, yeah, you can't say the F word, Ava. I don't know if you saw my chat. FAGGOT. Quentin says, maybe get your boobs and nostrils out the camera. Who are you talking about, Quinn? Coming in hot says, it's crazy how people that were never slaves want reparations from people that were never slave owners. Canary says, Ava came back ready to put belt to ass. The Black Fiasco says, if you don't like white people saying it, we have to stop saying it. Too many double standards. Black Fiasco again. She wants her student loans paid off. The Lion and the Ox says the loudmouth in the black hat is not FBA and natives, Jews, etc. receive reparations. Stay out of our businesses. Quentin says, hit a lick. Never done that. I'm white adjacent. We not. Word Custom says, can y'all folk will give that money right back to the white man. LOL. Jordans, Casamigos, and crab balls for everyone. Blew that PPP money easy. Alex says, Q, what happened? No panel ad. Sorry, Alex, you replied too late. So it's first come, first serve when I'm DM people. Quentin says, how much can I pay to send Ava to the basement? You can't. Custom says, natural selection, baby. Y'all haven't been selected and just not working hard enough. I'd rather sleep on the floor in the burbs than drive a BMW in the hood. Johnny Williams says, you can see the effects of slavery through epigenetic changes in the way the body possesses cortisol, which leads to an increased risk of CVD. Desmond says, I'm with Ava all the way on this one. Tensei says, claiming victimhood is too easy than to overcome. Danny says, I thought the Blackity Blacks was boycotting Lululemon. Rondi, shout out to the 20 ball. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
High Tolerance says, Jess, what's your forehead routine? Shea butter or MP? Jazz got the Harriet Tubman mic. The 6'8" Aquarius says, I've been blocked by Jazz. Got into an ugly back and forth with Ava. And they on opposite sides. This tells Ava the sellout and Jazz the victim are both two wings on their same bird. Johnny says slavery led to changes in how cortisol and sodium are regulated, which led to inflammation and causes CVD. Slavery and segregation. They don't play games.
But you see, you have to have, that's like having multiple. White women tend to have all of that in one.
And causes CVD. Slavery and
difference. White women just play the game smarter. Are you saying something?
I'm gonna say that. No. I've heard a lot to what Paul Pierce. Did y'all see the little interview Paul Pierce had? Something about wow, woman. If not, okay, let's watch this little clip.
Why do you feel like men, especially NBA players, get with the white women?
Maybe as they appreciate, maybe more, apologize more.
I had an interview with
them. They don't mind being held accountable. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. It was a little clip because they were just talking and laughing. But is it true? Are white women more submissive than black women?
Here we go.
No. Because that's not the first time I've heard that. I'm going to say that. No. I've heard a lot of black men say that.
They're more passive.
Well, I think white women can play their hand.
We gotta do one mic. Hold on, one mic.
Okay. Now, some few things have been thrown out there already. The one up top with the yellow hat says she says, I just think white women play their hands better. It's like what's the difference between saying that a white girl plays her hand better with a guy and just saying that she's more feminine than you? Because that's basically like saying that she's more feminine than you. Because not playing your hand correctly with a guy is certainly being masculine, aggressive, and competitive. So if the white women are doing the opposite, and that's considered playing your card right, you kind of just admitted that like white women are more submissive. You just didn't want to give them the credit. You just basically just changed the definition. Because if they're being like, if they just play their cards better, then technically speaking, that means they're wiser women. They're smarter. Why would you want to be a woman who doesn't play your cards the right way with a guy, is my question also. Why would you want to not, you know? You starting to catch the paradigm of black women, the way that they think? Hit the like button, everybody.
White women know how to play their hand better. They know how to fake it till they make it. They'll see it through to the end. Black women, there's only so much that they're going to deal with before they're out of there. I think that's...
Hold on, wait a second. Now, let's slow that down. She just said, I'm sorry about that, Rome. You know we're fighting the system. I'm sorry about that, that they're having the issues in the notifications. I really do. I'm sorry. I want to hear that again because it sort of jogged me. Hold on.
I'm gonna say that. I've heard a lot of black men say that.
They're more passive.
Well, I think white women can play their hand better.
We gotta do one mic. Hold on, one mic.
Oh yeah.
White women know how to play their hand better. They know how to fake it till they make it. They'll see it through to the end. Black women, there's only so much that they're going to deal with before they're out of there.
Now, she said that white women are going to fake it until they make it. Because they can't really want to serve a man, right? They can't really want to serve that black man. Ooh, it's just funny how these women, they're going to accidentally reveal where their mind is and how low vibrational their points of views are on black men without even trying. And this is what happens when black women get triggered by white women. They accidentally give their hands up.
I think that's the only difference, because you can be...
And Jacob, somebody under 30 years old, already knows the game, said this is why families fail. Yeah, I think you'd be right, Jacob. I think this is why a lot of our families suffer, because I think a lot of our women do say, "Oh, when I'm not feeling this anymore. I'm not whatever." They're not really equipped to deal with men because they haven't seen marriages work. They haven't seen women stick out. They've seen women get mad, get bitter, move on to the next guy, bring in a stepdad. That's what they've seen, or not bring in a stepdad most of the time. It's a big reason why none of our marriages last over 5 years, because we think we're supposed to be happy all the time in our marriages, that we're just supposed to like always, every year of the marriage is supposed to be like vibing, right? That's how black people are. This is why our families suck, and why most of our children live in broken homes or co-parenting situations. Yep.
Be submissive all you want to, but the moment one thing out of line, or you saying something that we don't like, we're leaving. White women will see it all the way to the end. They'll be cheated on. They'll be, especially if they're like building the man up.
Here's the problem with something like this. The problem with this is that there were women in your family who made the same sacrifices to build your family too. And are they less respectable? Because, like, think about it. But in the whole butterfly effect way of looking at it, like, there's a relationship somewhere in your family tree that if that woman doesn't stick through something that maybe another woman would have left for, you don't exist. That's how real this is. This is how families are truly built, and they're not built on perfect, flawless monogamy. I'm sorry, I'm here to tell you, most of our family trees, they're not built on perfect relationships. They weren't built on happiness. The earlier parts of our genetic pool coming out of the slavery times didn't sometimes even have a choice in if they were getting married or not. A lot of times they just were told who they were going to marry. And they did what they had to do. You guys are not a generation of doing what you have to do. You're a generation of me, mine. I got to go back. I got to ensure that I'm okay, whatever. It's nasty work, and men don't like it. and we're not going to bend to this new masculine way of thinking. So guys are trying to come to the table and have a conversation with you ladies and see if we can work something out.
I think that's the only difference. White women just play the game smarter.
Black women don't do that. Black women don't play games too, and you know they get the gold. What's it called? The men with the money. They go for.
It's almost like, dang fellas, it's like, do these women even ever care about us? They like the game. The game is like whatever. I'm telling you guys, we're the true romantics. Women are survival experts. Men are romantics. You see how they're just casually talking about like, yeah, like how they play the game. Most women are married to guys who they were like, oh yeah, I wasn't really that interested in him at first, but then he kind of grew on me. And those guys actually accept that shit, and they're like, okay, baby, I'm okay with that. It's true. Especially a lot of our women in the black community, like they be trying to circle back on the good men, and then a lot of times those good men be right there, like, okay, baby, what you want to do? Especially if she still look good or whatever.
Resources. They have a food nigga. They don't do that. They don't play games.
But you see, you have to have. That's like having multiple. White women tend to have all of that in one because they see it through till the end. Most black women don't see it through to the end. Like they're able to put up with a little bit here, a little bit there. They may make it about halfway or a quarter of the way, and then they backtrack.
Your feedback, Jazz, is crazy.
I think the problem I'm having with Jerry, is that her name, is that she's talking about this like this is some sort of flex. Like this is a whole, like black women don't put up with the BS. That's not a flex. You guys aren't a flex because you destroy your family or destroy a family dynamic because you're not the one. You're not better women. You're not better women. You see how when you go out into the dating market, the men still just want to know why that didn't work out and why it didn't work out with your baby daddy. You still get questioned. Nobody cares about your little righteous reason that you made up that's inside. Like, man, oh my goodness.
White women.
I don't think it's limited to race. I don't think. I think it's more of an ideology. I think it's more if you're a feminist or not. If you push for feminism, I don't think this is limited to black women. And I think it's more of an ideology, feminism.
Go ahead, Jazz.
I was going to say that because I was like, how can white women be submissive when they were the start of the feminist movement, which is everything but being submissive to.
Easy. I'll tell you why. What if they started it to try to get a bunch of silly black women to join it so that they could destroy their community, and then they would secretly get married anyway, which the numbers say white women are getting married at a higher rate than you women. And it isn't just because they're the majority in this country. They're getting married more than you, but they propped up feminism. You should be suspicious of that. Not assume that those are women who aren't getting married because the data suggests otherwise. Most true feminists, come on, y'all. We all know that they're butchy, gross-looking women. Nobody wanted to touch them anyway, and we wasn't really, and that's why they're out there doing that. You can tell. They're always like, you can't tell me what to do. And you're like, ugh, chick, back up. Like, ugh. Like, are you a chick? Like, get back, move. Look at you. Just look at yourself. Like, trust me, guys, you were never gonna get me. Why do you have that Me Too sign? You were never gonna get. Nobody was ever gonna cross the line with you. You're gross. Stop. Y'all bought it, like, and then white women. It's no different than like Beyonce telling y'all, all my single ladies, all my single ladies, all my single ladies, and all like, or if I were a boy and all this other crap, but really like, she's always in a relationship. She would never leave her guy. She would never do any of the things that she's talking about in her songs. It's just about getting you to buy something or to do something. For real. They're like, for real, they like, for real. Or they're like women who like should be lesbians because there's nothing for them on the heterosexual side. And everybody knows it. You see those studs and you're like, what do you like that's you're in the right position because I promise you, you cannot put a wig on that. You couldn't put a wig on that shit. You're cooked. You had to go over there and be a guy because there's no way you could be a lady over here. Look at you. And we all know we all got those studs in our hood. She cuts hair, and her stepkids call her Pop. And she figures out weird ways to like tell you that she's got a strap.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah. Or like that she's got it on her. Like that makes her closer to being a man. Can't stand the studs. They're the worst of all. Everybody in the LGBTQ, like all that like they're the worst ones. Like they're the ones where I'm just like, yeah, get them. Like I'm against homophobia, but then with the studs, I'm like, yeah, y'all can go ahead and do it. Do what you want to do with them. Like y'all are gonna think I'm mean, but like my biggest thing is like why can't we why can't we punch them? They like no, seriously, because it's like they say that like they're solely taking on the identity of a man, and they get in our face like they're men, and it's just like as soon as if we do something, then they're like, I'm a girl, like you a bitch ass nigga. I'm about to go get my brother. You ain't shit, nigga. You ain't. Y'all know how dyke voices sound. You ain't shit, nigga. It's always a really bad guy voice, like, hey, what up, man? God. For real. And y'all know I'm not lying. Got our first Cash App of the show. King317 says, love black women. Get y'all a passport to know the difference. Whoa, much love, man. I've been hearing a lot of men say that. Been hearing a lot of passport recommendations. Black women got to tune it up if y'all want that to end. If you guys want black men to stop recommending other men to go overseas to be treated properly, I just think the rebellion has to stop. And if a woman were to say, Thon, what rebellion are you talking about? Well, it's just the rebellion of like the conversation. Like the fact that we can't ask you, what do you bring to the table without you treating it like it's an insult. That's a real mature question to ask a woman who you want to spend who you might possibly want to spend a significant amount of time with. But you guys get triggered by that. There are certain things we can't even talk about with you. All right. Let's go ahead and continue. Hit the like button, everybody. The closer we get to 100, you know what I mean? It puts pressure on them to have to bring people into the stream.
So that's interesting. I don't know if they're more
real, they keep hairline
submissive, but I mean,
good for some
black
reason.
women, unless we're, unless we accept and tolerate,
Oh, snap. What's up, Jazz? What's up, Jazz?
What's up, Anton?
I didn't even realize you had popped up.
Yeah, so I think what I was trying to say was that I think we are looked at as not being submissive when we don't tolerate certain things in our relationship, like what Jerry was saying, like white women, they may take a cheating man over and over and over again, and black women have done that as well. Let's be real. Like we tolerate and endure a lot from our men. We've invested in our men, et cetera, et cetera. But I think once we start to, say no more, that's when we become, not submissive or not feminine, because we don't want to tolerate bullshit. That's just my point of view.
Okay, so I have a question. I have a statement. I went to a white college, and the most hate I got.
Now let's say what she has to say. Look at her face. That says so much about the way black women feel and the willingness they are to have this conversation in a meaningful way. And since I'm such a ratchet whisperer and I'm a recovering ratchet addict, I know what this look means. This look means and did. And yep, and who gonna check me and what's up? Yep. And this is that. And see, I love to freeze this because I just want y'all to understand, all black women out here who do this. This will never replace or be better than just being correct in what you have to say. Putting a little bit of spunk on something and acting aggressive behind it doesn't make your statement any more or less true. Y'all have this, the sky is blue if I say it is, and period. It's green. If the sky is green, it's green, because I said it's green, nigga. Right, blah, blah. It's like, I can't believe y'all think men are going to want to spend a lifetime with this kind of mentality. y'all are like, yeah, like white girls don't let you talk back. I can't deal with this. Like, why would you want to talk back to your guy? The stuff that y'all want to do that y'all think white women are like suckers for dealing with or whatever, like, it's stuff y'all shouldn't even be doing. I bet a lot of you black women think you can justifiably put your hands on the man you're dealing with if you're mad or upset. He should keep his hands to himself because you're gonna go get your brothers and all your homies and everybody you know to go jump on him if he do the same. And that's just supposed to be acceptable in a relationship dynamic. Some black men have accepted it. But that doesn't mean we should.
And it's predominantly white. The most hate, the most attitude I seen was from black women. I ain't gonna lie now. Sorry, coming here from the islands, that's what I encountered, right? They say, oh, you're not black, you can't talk about this. Oh, you're mixed, you're not black. So it's like, I kind of get why some men say, I like a certain type of woman that they don't have to deal with attitudes at times. Granted, white people attitudes are a little different. They don't have to do with certain things that come from black women. And
now, here's the thing, I want to say this, sort of in defense of black women a little bit, but to help black women get on track about how to look at all of this. We're aware of the fact that white women come with their set of issues, Hispanic women, Filipino women, Caucasian women, so on and so forth. But we understand that those men are happier men because they're getting something for the bullshit. And black men, we're probably a little bit too numb to you guys' shit. We're just not getting anything for it. Man, I be seeing black men getting jacked up and collared around by a woman who they love a lot and will not leave. Dre Huborn style. That nigga should have called the police. Scared as hell for Dre. Thought she was gonna kill him. All right, let's get back into the show.
We're talking about the twerking. I don't really see a lot of white women twerking. Look at that Lululemon thing. Like, that shit is ratchet and ghetto. So
they don't know how to twerk.
Oh man, I didn't have to twerk. I don't know.
Well, I think they don't know how to twerk. Now, who said that? Who said that? Who said they don't know how to twerk? Like that's a positive thing. Like that makes you closer to being a wife.
I like a certain type of woman that they don't have to deal with attitudes at times. Granted, white people attitudes are a little different. They don't have to do with certain things that come from black women. And we're talking about the twerking. I don't really see a lot of white women twerking. Look at that Lululemon thing. Like, that shit is ratchet and ghetto. So
they don't know how to twerk.
Okay. Jess down there says they don't know how to twerk. Okay. Now, Jess. My bad, y'all. I do that at least once a show. Jess, why is that a flex? Like, why is that a flex? And that's coming from somebody, like, I like looking at a woman twerk. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm like every other guy. There's nothing wrong with twerking. But I'm saying, like, why do you think that's a slight against them or some way? Like, black women, you guys can't twerk better than everybody. Well, Africans can twerk better than you. Then it comes foundational black Americans than everyone else, right? You guys are at the top of that. But what do you get for it? What do you get for that? What do you get for being the best twerker out of all the women? They're getting more marriages. They're getting engaged to more. Stay focused. Like, you're worried about the wrong, like, you're trying to, like, get a win in the wrong spot right now.
Oh man, I didn't have to twerk. I don't know.
Well, I think that's not a win for us.
You got to think about it too this way, right? When we talk about
we got
white
twerking,
women
y'all.
and we
One
talk
for
about
us.
black
One
women,
for the black
and
community.
we
We got
the
twerking.
thing of submission. I also want to talk about optics with that, because I feel like white women are also very sought after, especially as it pertains to providing. Whereas on the flip side of that, black women, we're not really sought after to provide. And I think that also ties into the whole.
Hold on, wait a second. Because I do think what she's observing is true, but I think that she's misinterpreting it. The truth is a lot of our a lot of the worst of what I've seen in my community and other communities that I've moved to is usually the worst of our men who want to go over there and be literally looking for somebody to pay their bills or looking for a white woman to make their life easier because they're white. They're the kind of men that usually black women wouldn't have wanted to deal with in the first place. And I'm not saying that it justifies his actions. But again, like, let's keep it, I just noticed that when black women frame a lot of hypotheticals, they always put the guy at some sort of like needy position. They never want to argue from the successful black man's standpoint because he'll force value out of you where there's room for arguing with guys who are lesser than you.
Circle. Why are you making that face?
Wait. Wait, what white woman is providing? I'm confused.
So I feel like men are way more willing to provide, specifically black men take pride in providing for white women.
Oh,
why do you think I disagree with that?
But why do you?
Okay, never mind. I misunderstood what she was saying. I disagree certainly with what she is actually saying, that we're more willing to want to provide for white women. Nothing could be further. That is definitely not true. Matter of fact, the numbers prove that when our income goes up and over 100%, we wanted to marry a black woman. And I know that in the 90s, in the 80s, in the early 90s, y'all seen Eddie Murphy and different guys only did their love interests were kind of white or like light skinned looking, and there was a lot of black women took hits in the 90s. But what y'all don't get is the numbers have never supported it. That's just what those particular media figures did. But collectively, when men's income goes up and over 100,000, black men, we're more likely to marry a black woman at that point, and we get no credit for it whatsoever. And it's never talked about in these interracial conversations about who picks who and whatever, and the divesting and.
You think that is?
So
I know why.
Black women talk about wanting to be provided for. They get called gold diggers, or they ain't got nothing, they don't got this. But like when it comes to white women, it's always just expected. And this is something that they grew up with.
What is she talking about?
Y'all looking real crazy.
I really did that because I don't understand what you're saying.
But I think that pertains to this topic as well. Because when we talk about submission, I feel like, the white woman is willing to be a little bit more submissive because she's able to be taken care of, whereas black women, they've had to struggle for, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word that is called? Hypergamy. They've had to struggle for hypergamy. So I think that's a component to that as well that we can't skip out on.
They've had to struggle for hypergamy? What does that mean?
What the hell are you talking about?
That typically black women struggle with hypergamy, which means that when we talk about provider households, it's a little bit harder for black women to come across a 100% provider man.
That is absolutely false. Every damn day of the week.
Shame in yourself. Ain't nobody
That
shame.
is false. False. Black women are having a hard time securing the provider males in the dating market. Ain't that y'all are having a hard time finding there aren't enough of them around? The problem is y'all don't like a lot of times who the provider males in the black community, how they act, how they talk. They can't dance. They usually don't have swagger like you like. They speak with proper grammar. You look at them and you think, I would be boring being around. It would be boring to be with him. Now is it starting to come back? You meet marriageable men in the black community every day. He just don't like to go to the club like you do. He ain't lit. I love how y'all try to act like there aren't good men in the black community when there are plenty of good black men in the community getting overseen and stepped over so y'all can go deal with a guy who's got a grill in his mouth, his pants off his ass, in a car that's screaming, pull me over and beat my ass like Rodney King. And anybody who's lived in the black community for longer than a couple of years knows what I'm talking about. You could be a foreigner, live in the black community for 2 years. You already know what I'm talking about.
But
why? Why do you think that is? As a
black woman, if you were a black man, I feel like it's a little bit harder.
But why though? Like
y'all know that it's more than it's black women all over the world, right? Like what you talking about is the black American woman. A lot of these black women, they coming from Jamaica, they come from other places, wherever they come from. They don't go through what the black American women go through. The black American woman is out of control.
Now, before Ava gets in her bag, I'm gonna read Amazement 17 super chat. He says them arguing from a disadvantage from the man is another form of narcissism. They get joy low key out of a man being like that. It's true. It's true. They don't have a lot of footing. When you argue and you don't even have a lot of footing, it proves that you're being childish in the conversation. There's an unwillingness to get anywhere that's toxic.
Listen, the black American woman is out of control. Your men can't talk to you. They can't control you. They can't lead you because you want to lead. You feel like because you're a black woman, you got it down pat and you know it all. Black women always right. I'm strong because I'm a black woman. This is y'all thing. Nobody want to hear that shit. Men don't want to hear that shit. I've never met a man that said I want a strong black woman.
To me either, because yes, I am a strong woman.
Said that. Men don't care about you being strong. They just want a woman. But y'all walk around with this chip on your shoulder just because you black, and it turns people off and it pushes your men away. That's why they don't stay. And half of the time they do go to white woman or Asian woman or any other woman because they're a little bit softer and they're not hearing that shit that y'all be saying. It's literally black American women that act like this.
I'll be honest, I just said. Well, I was gonna say,
let's let the AK off for Ava. She just sprayed up Ava just sprayed the whole panel down. Yeah. I would critique what she had to say if there was something to critique, if there was something to call out, but there isn't. Everything she had to say was on point. Some people might not like her tone. She's a little passionate, but I'm trying to figure out where the problem is. As she goes on this beautiful, eloquent rant, I want you to pay attention to the hyenas who aren't feeling it. Jerry, Jess, and JAS. And maybe some others, but those are the only ones I can see.
I kind of disagree with the idea of, white women being necessarily more submissive than black women. I think primarily when it all boils down, it boils down to like really three factors in my mind. Environment, accessibility, opportunity, and really like, family situation and networking. From someone who's really only participated in interracial dating.
Whoa, CASHAPP, stop the show. We have a show sponsor. Let's get it. Amazement 17 says BLP ties for the AK permit as well. Much love, man. Thank you very much for supporting the show. I love when we get a sponsor in the beginning portion of the show just to get everything started off. I appreciate you, brother. You're moving into that 1% range. Much love, brother. Much love to Fantasy Island Girl who just joined the chat. Much love to Eric Cummings. He dropped 10. He one of them ones. I appreciate you, Eric Cummings. You're very consistent. You're moving into that 1% pretty soon as well, just off of being in the Dollar Crew. I love it. Oh man, I got my face covered. Okay. Let's go ahead and put him on the board. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back into the show.
I mean, all the way from high school to college to even corporate America, a lot of the environments that I was in were primarily white dominant. So a lot of the spaces. Huh?
You've only dated white women?
Yes.
Okay.
Only dated white women.
So do you have male friends that dated black women?
I do have a male friend.
Now, did you guys see that? Did y'all see that? I'm going to go back a couple of seconds. I want y'all to pay attention to the body language of Jess, who just said she doesn't have a problem with a black man who dates black women. She just doesn't like when black men diss black women on their way over there. But this is a guy who just admitted to dating white women, and he actually has a very chill temperament. He's been getting along with everybody. And pay attention to her body language when he says it. That's what I'm talking about. It's that shit I'm talking about. Black men can't live, but they get to marry Connor and Zaddy and then celebrate.
The other woman because they're a little bit softer and they're not hearing that shit that y'all be saying. It's literally black.
Huh?
You've only dated white women?
Yes.
Okay.
Only dated white women.
So do you have male friends that date?
You see that? Now, she doesn't have to say anything, but this is supposed to be considered shame. And my thing is this, my thing is this, sister. You literally just said like 10 minutes ago that you don't care about if black men date white women, as long as they're not dissing black women on their way over there. He didn't diss black women. All he said was that he's dating, that all he dates was white women. And you had this response. You're laughing and you're trying to be cute as if he said something shameful, which is insinuating he's doing something wrong. So again, black women, if we gonna have any type of dating relationship conversation with y'all, are y'all gonna be mature enough to come to the conversation with what you really feel and what your real perspective is? Because if y'all say it's okay for us to date white women, as long as we don't do a certain thing, and then a guy comes along and doesn't do that thing, and y'all still kind of like are chuckling at him for dating white women. But it's funny. What's upsetting about this is what if no other black women found this dude interesting? And because I know black men who made their best attempt at all the black women who they wanted to. I got one of my closest friends. I used to watch him chase black women our whole friendship. And he ended up settling down and having beautiful kids with a white woman. But I bet some black women in our community probably think he might be some kind of sellout, but he's not. I watched that man try to give his best effort to date black women, and they wasn't feeling him. They said he was short. They didn't like the way he looked. And now he has a beautiful family. They're doing very well. And he has beautiful children. And I bet you that a few of those women in our community who probably passed on him in the worst way probably got something to say like, we ain't had to get with a white girl, even though they wasn't even going to pick him. It's that petty stuff that black men are dealing with. Even when they don't want to deal with you, we got to be on our knees, waiting, giving reverence.
Dated black women?
I do have a male friend that's dated one black woman.
So the women that you dated, granted you only dated white women, have you seen the difference between black women and white women? And how did they treat men, or how did they act?
I will say this. I think white women are a little bit more sneaky in the way that, they move and they operate. Meaning that like most times, like you won't find out about the dirt of a relationship till almost 2-3 years afterwards, when like the relationship's already over. But for the most part, I just really think
CASHAPP stop the show. We got another show sponsor. Eugene says, "Oh, girl cooking, she certainly is," and they don't like it. They got a problem with the fact that, and the truth is, and I like that Ava was more of the focal of the show, because when women get on other women, they can't do that whole man bashing shit. Shouts out to you, Eugene. Shout out to Eugene for sponsoring the show. Currently, at the moment, he's the current show sponsor at 35. Eugene. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back into it. Yeah, I'm really mad that homie got the little joke and whatever, but they are supposed to act, but they don't care. But then he still got the little weird joke. I don't like that. Especially because she just said that, like, oh yeah, black men can date white women as long as you don't say nothing, as long as you don't diss black women on your way over there. Then a black man goes, oh yeah, I only date white women, and then she laughs like that's something to laugh at him about. And me personally, as somebody who doesn't really I don't date white women, I just don't like how black men are being policed, even when y'all don't even want to deal with us. Like, even when you're like, no, you're not even the type of black guy I deal with, but why you deal with a white woman? It's like, get the hell out of here.
I think women are just women. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it really boils down to shared values. Oftentimes, you tend to see women who are a little bit more independent. They tend to have they tend to operate in what I like to call a survival mindset, where it's just more about I'm just trying to make it to the next day, the next month, the next year. And I'm just taking things as they come. In my previous relationships, when I actually look back on it, you know, like one of the things I really liked about those relationships was the fact that, you know, coming from a broken home, when I was dating this woman, you know, it was a whole nother side. Like everyone was so well connected and gelled together, and they just had lots of resources. And then as for me being a part of that family unit for the time I was dating.
Look at JAS over there in the corner as a black man is speaking and whatever. And I'm pretty sure after he gets done speaking, she'd be ready to jump in and give her spill or whatever she feels. But she doesn't care about nothing that this black man is talking about. It's almost like intentional disregard or something. Black men are supposed to have the utmost respect for black women because they have black mothers. Black women, y'all shit on black men every single day. I watch how y'all are when white boys approach y'all and y'all not mean and nasty. Y'all be like, no, even if y'all don't like them. Y'all be like, no thanks. I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't even know that our women can act jipper like that. One of our people hit you up, y'all be like, nah, nigga, gone. But brother hit you up, hey, how you doing, sister, whatever. I got a boyfriend. No thank you, goodbye. Bye. I don't gotta show you. Then the black man could be like, man, that's rude, sister. I ain't gotta show you manners, blah, blah, blah. You ain't my daddy, blah, blah, you ain't my man. Black. And it's not all black women. Of course, I'm never speaking in absolutes. It's never all black women. There are plenty of black women who are sweet. I'm living in this nice town out in Michigan that I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is. And there's just what I love is just a lot of little sweet little, it's weird, like the women look ratchet, but then you get up on them and you say something to them and they be like, hi, how you doing? They be like, good. I'm like, right, I like this. Nice day in the grocery store with these ratchets. Nice day, right?
Said woman, I actually got access to all those resources, and I still have them till this day.
That proof I made earlier. Go ahead.
What you say?
Yeah, so when it comes to like contacts, job opportunities, when it comes to, you know, getting invited to like a golf outing, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I've never really experienced before. So I just think that it doesn't boil down to race. It really boils down to, I think, shared values, which ultimately come from the family unit.
Well, wait, but that's a good thing though, that a woman can be an asset to you and help you in many ways. I don't see that as a negative thing. Janae, you're muted, by the way, but you have big feedback. But I don't think I've never really hear a lot of men saying, black men be like, oh yeah, I'm going after this white woman because there's resources. I've never heard that.
Now, I do know of some black men who have dated like women and they're trying to like work. They're trying to like gain a position or gain an internship. And I'm here to say none of those I've never seen any other relationships like pan out to something long term. Anytime a guy is like dating so that he could try to gain a business connection or so on and so forth, he never ends up marrying that girl. He never ends up ending up with that girl. And there are some black guys to where they dated a white girl and like they might not even have known it, but subconsciously it might have been because he knew he might meet somebody who, like, you know, her family might be in the background of the career he works in, but he just so happened to date a white girl from that background. You see it sometimes, but a lot of times these are these talented Mr. Ripley ass niggas, like they don't pan out to be husbands. They surviving like women. Joy says, brother, no, it's only some argument. It's similar, but the argument is that's the minority, not the majority. Yeah. I like a little bit of what he has to say, but some things he's saying, I think he's trying to put the black women at ease on the panel. And you see that so much in these conversations, guys just saying things and they're just trying to put the black women at ease. And it's like, no, we need to push them. We need to have these conversations. What about the next generation? If we don't like push these women and they don't feel uncomfortable for a second, we're not gonna never get nothing done. gonna be the same garbage year after year
Well,
after year, decade after decade.
I think something else that we're not talking about either is I really do think that when it comes to like, you know, interracial dating, I do think that white women do stick it out. Like, I think what they do is when they go to college, they're finding a husband, they're finding a long-term relationship, and they're really smart at identifying, you know, who's gonna make it and who's not. And I tend to see that they're not primarily focused on looks more than they're focused on, like, hey, dude, you have a great personality, are you a good person? And then are you gonna be able to sustain a family? So they're very strategic. Yeah. Like, I remember when
Now, let's stop right there, because that's basically like him saying the same thing that old girl has said. She said, oh, they just play the game better. That's what she said. She said, they just play the game better. They're not more submissive. They're just more strategic. It's like, that means that's a better woman. Being strategic doesn't make you sneaky. Patrice O'Neal actually wrote a very good comedy bit about this in one of his Lost stand-up specials. You have to find it. It's kind of grainy. It's not Elephant in the Room or Mr. P. It's one of those grainy ones he did in one of those bars. But he talked about how, like, black women are aggressive in the front end and white women are aggressive in the back end of a relationship. And that is profound. You kind of, sometimes you might not even know all the way where a woman is feeling until after it's over with a white woman. In some cases, not all, but in some cases, they're willing to harbor resentment in a more professional, quiet manner to just for the sake of the family than a lot of black women are willing to do, right? And black women present aggression in the front of and then if you can break through that, she'll be sweet to you forever. But you have to break through her ice first. But either way, it's just like, I get what they're saying, but what y'all don't get is a woman who's more strategic in her approach about men is in fact a more feminine woman. And I don't think that this guy might be like a panderer or anything like that, but I think he's trying to articulate something that sounds good to try to put the black women on the panel at ease, but it's not correct. Just like how old girl said, oh, they just play the game better. It's like, why would you want to play the game anyway but good? It's like black women want you to almost come in not listening to your man and still get picked. Never seen nothing like it. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
I was dating in my last relationship.
Point you just made in terms of like you saying like you like that. Sorry, I got people in the background. Just talking about like being able to be in those spaces in those rooms, right? I think like that's the saying, kind of like to the point that we made earlier. It's not just about when you said it's not about race. Even if it is or isn't about race, it's about access and resources, things that you know you can't have. There are people who look to people like you said. I never met nobody that said I want to date a white woman because of resources. I've met a lot of black men who say that. It's black men all the time like, oh, her credit score is like that's always a comment, it's always a funny joke, but there's always some truth behind every joke. But also, you also have to look at the fact that, like you just said.
Wait, y'all, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. Y'all gonna have to start bringing real, valid arguments to these conversations and not fake ones. Like, y'all can't just try to make up a hypothetical guy who says something that validates your argument and then just keep going like we're supposed to accept it. That's bullshit. Gonna be like, oh, it's dudes who be asking about your credit. They make jokes about your credit score. Well, how would they even have known it if you wouldn't have said anything about it? Did they look you up? I just tried to fix the audio back. It should be good now. Or maybe it should be on Rodecaster. I'm going to go back anyway for the minute that I realized that the audio wasn't working. The audio is low? Okay. My bad, y'all. My fault. Hold on. I think we need to go back to the Ecamm live audio shit. Okay, that's fine. How does it sound now?
when you're talking about dating these women, like when they go to college, white women go like to the points that we made earlier. It's not just about when you say it's not about race. Even if it is or isn't about race, it's about access and resources, things that you can't have. There are people who look to people like you, like Q. You said, I never met nobody that said I want to date a white woman because resources. I've met a lot of black men who say that it's black men all the time, like, oh, her credit score is da 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 da. Like that's always the comment. It's always a funny joke, but there's always some truth behind every joke.
Wait, it's just I'm sorry, I don't know who these men are you speak of. Much love to Down South Yellow. He dropped a couple bucks on the show. He dropped 5 on the show. Much love, thank you. But yeah, who are these men? Like again, these hypothetical men you just pulled out of your ass who care about a woman's credit score. I'm just trying to figure out why we're supposed to care. All right, everybody says the sound is good. My people say the sound is good. Okay. All right, we back.
But also, you also have to look at the fact that, like you just said, when you're talking about dating these women, like when they go to college, white women go to college and they're vetting these men and saying, I'm looking for a man that can sustain a family, things like that. Those things absolutely matter. Black women, we date based on love, feelings, emotions. So a lot of times we fluctuate in how we manage those relationships. So when it comes to the tolerance of things, my emotions are more important now. They get bigger. So it's like I can tolerate but so much, as opposed to what appears to be white women would say, I'm looking for a goal, the future, the ending of it all. So I can stick those feelings. Other things matter.
Your audio.
Are you cutting out? Okay.
I think black women date off of looks.
Your audio went out, Jenna.
Who looks the coolest? Who has the most swag?
Hip hop is shit.
Who's the most papered up dope boy? We don't care about we care too much about the appearance. Who gives us butterflies off the first look? All the dumbest reasons to pick a man.
And she's not lying. Hey, shout out to the women on this panel. The women on this panel didn't come to play with anybody, and this is what I'm talking about. Get these ladies together. This is it, black women. Y'all are doing a great job. Y'all are doing a great job, black women. Because they don't want to listen to us men say it. They want to say we hate our mamas, or we got an issue with our sexuality, or whatever the case may be. They got all type of excuse when a man say it. We need y'all to come out here and get on these chicks. Because y'all can get so much further than we ever can. No matter how much we can articulate this stuff, y'all can always go a lot further, checking each other. And I say this all the time. What do we say over here all the time? Black women prefer what? Swag over substance. Black women prefer swag over substance. And that's basically everything Molly just said right there. In so many words. Black women, I'll shorten it. Black women prefer swagger, style, and short-minded appeal, very quick temporary appeal over a man who's stable, reliable, safe. Non-criminal. See, because they're bored with this man. Y'all wonder why white women are willing to deal with a guy who can't hit it the best, who can't hit it as good as the last guy, but she doesn't care. He's a good husband. Can y'all do that, black women? Can y'all marry a guy knowing he can't, you ain't gonna get off every single time because he ain't like how old boy was with the third leg? Can you still stick out a marriage? Think about Rodney or whoever. His name is always Rodney or something like that. Or Darnell. Y'all know them big dick names. Darnell.
That's what us as black women do. A lot
resources.
Of the time.
Molly, you know how many black women date men who look like I love? Come on now.
Who? Where they
Yeah,
at?
but
Because
he
I always
probably
hear a
stop
woman
it.
talk about looks. Oh,
Stop
he ain't
it.
tall
Yeah, but
enough. Oh, he ain't cute
even if
enough.
he,
Oh, this, and that. It's always
Yeah.
something. It's
Yeah,
never
women out
about
here with men
like
who look like left feet now. Don't do that.
and that, but
where.
even when they do date ugly
Because the
men,
white girls
this
are
is
picking them
he's
ones.
always
The white
had,
girls are picking the ones that we don't pick. They're picking the what's his name, Travis Hunter. They're
Scorp God came through, sponsored sponsored the rest of the show. He says for their credit score. Yeah, it's just like it's laughable. Was Darnell the big dick guy in Girlfriends, Joy? I don't remember that shit. I hope that isn't one of the things that like my subconscious mind like stored or some shit. That'd be weird. Cause I just guessed. I remember old boy who had the hips on Girlfriends. Remember the episode where the girl, where old girl had, where Tracy Ellis Ross's character, old dude, he was thick and his hips was big, and he walked in and the little the little thing, that bubble that pop up that's in her mind, she was like, ah. But like that's who I'm thinking of. I can't really think of nobody else. All right. It's always something like Tyran or something like that. It's weird, that power in the name shit. Oh, William was the one with the big booty? Oh, okay. That shit was mad funny. She was like, ah! Okay, my bad, y'all. I always do that. I'm starting to derail and get sidetracked. That's why I had an IEP in high school, because like I couldn't pay attention to shit. Let's go and get back into it. Let's go.
picking the ones that we look at and be like, ugh, he ain't cute enough. He don't have enough swag.
Right.
Yeah, he's corny. Like, let's be honest. We don't want the man that's not a felon. Like, let's come.
I think also too, like you gotta. I think you
Our
also gotta take
emotions, our
into
emotions
account
are tied
too.
up in a man's looks. Like, it's the dumbest thing to
Yeah.
We don't care if he can't read. We don't care if he's not a good dad. Does he look good? And am I getting butterflies?
Look at Jess over there.
Literally,
Look at
that's
Jazz over there stewing.
That's our
I know
standard.
plenty of Black women who make sure that they not only are attracted to the men that they date, but also are with men who have something to lose, who have good careers, have.
Well, wait a second, because she just said two things. She's like, I know women who like care about the way that the guys look, but then they care about his career. And I'm here to say that there's not really a lot of room for a lot of you women to do both in the dating and relationship space. Okay, and I know, like, let's just look at the balloon pot reactions. Shouts out to everybody, we still do the balloon pot reactions. And again, you just see a lot of women, like, I don't know. I just, can't believe the deflections. Can't believe all of the deflections. That's wild as. Yeah, like everything, everything she says is just.
Of Black women who make sure that they not only are attracted to the men that they date, but also are with men who have something to lose, who have good careers, have a good head on their shoulders. Like the majority of the women that I know and that I'm around, they don't really, they dope boys. I mean, maybe if you frequent the hood a lot and you do hood shit, you would know a lot about that. But I don't.
Cardi B is.
That you don't have to see that's a very dishonest, because you don't have to frequent the black, you don't have to frequent the hood to know about these issues in a Black community. That's the truth. You don't at all have to frequent the Black community. That's what that movie They Clone Tyrone was kind of profound. The profound underlying truth in that movie is that we're kind of all the same everywhere. And the more and more I'm even becoming like even a fairly like known creator in some way or another, I'm just realizing we're all the same. The more and more I'm just gathering Black folk and an audience member from a different region or a different state or country, we're all pretty much thinking the same on a lot of things. We might be divided on everything, but pretty much Black people, we are how we are. She does not have to freak. You think black people in the suburbs don't know what it means to be black and don't be knowing like what they left behind? Even a black person who's been in the suburbs for 10 years, they know exactly what the hood is because they're mad when somebody from the hood moves into the suburbs. They're real upset. They're like, oh, hell no. This ain't it. This ain't what winning's supposed to look like. I tried to get away from you, nigga. They are biracial superheroes. Let me see. Is that who you got down there? Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, Jason Tatum. Yeah. I think that these guys are like not even given enough credit because black men just like black people. It's hard for us to really respect our light skin division. They go like for real. Y'all see like even with like Drake, everything he goes through, it's just like y'all all were just waiting to dog pile on that nigga. It's just it's hard being light skinned. It's hard being beige. I'm just kidding, y'all. Just joking. It's the same as it's just as hard. Like being black as being black. But yeah, now all of a sudden she's trying to like shade this girl because she's being honest. Like I want y'all to look at how the women who are attempting to be reasonable in this in a conversation with a black man are treated. That also speaks to how willing black women are to come to us, resolve with us. Okay, let's continue.
Sitting there rapping about how she won a felon, and these girls is following her. It's not just to the hood. But I forgot you are privileged, so go ahead.
Oh wow.
Speak from your privileged position, Jazz. I'm listening. Some
so
of
like,
us are from the hood, though.
I don't want to make
Speak from your black privilege, girl. I'm listening.
Do y'all hear something? Is that me?
Come on.
It's like a little buzzing.
That's your microphone, but keep going.
I don't know. Is it me? Is it my phone? Do y'all hear that too?
What's happening right now? What is this?
So like I was saying, while that it may be certain women, a certain subset of women who entertain a certain subset of black men, is definitely not the majority. And I think if what Paul Pierce is saying, if that's his experience, that's his experience. If he hasn't had a good black woman to appreciate him or submit to him in any type of way, that's unfortunate because we all know everything is not.
But before you go, I just want to give a little bit of context. So Paul Pierce, before that clip, said that he only date black women. And he said that he's previously divorced from a black woman. And he said that he only dates black women. The question that was asked to him is why most NBA athletes prefer to date white women. And so he gave an assumption based off of what he's seen. But he personally said that he's never dated a white woman. So just give me
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I didn't know.
I didn't know they either. You know what's funny though? There's a lot of. I think that regarding social media, I'm gonna mute you, Jess, because your feedback is crazy. But a lot of NBA players are married to black women. So
come on.
It's like most of black men.
Doesn't that make you think about the stats we were just talking about, like just a second ago? Weren't we just talking about that? That actually when a black man's income goes up and over $100,000 a year, he's more likely to marry a black woman. Yet we get all this divester hate when y'all divest and celebrate each other. When y'all marry a white guy, y'all think y'all won something. And then y'all look at black men and go, him. And you know you do. Y'all get a white guy and then y'all look at black men and go, and that's what I did. Sit down, loser. It's never love. Y'all are never like, black men, I loved you. Like, you know, it just didn't work out. I wish you all the best. Hope you find somebody. The love of my life just so happened to be white. You all don't say nothing like that. Y'all be like, fuck these niggas. Y'all be like, y'all all crip on our graves. Like, they be like,
are married to black women. So it's like we pick these little white speckles of women, and they're like, "Oh, why is that black man?" But what about the white? What about the black women that date white men? What about the Serena Williams? Is there the big pushback for her? One of the best women tennis players. But I don't know. I think it's just
I think part of the difference is that sometimes I forgot who it was. Just a recent interview. It was an athlete, and he said that
Serena Williams is a great example. Why don't we hear any Serena Williams hate? Eve went off and just found some white balls to cradle. Nobody said anything. I'll tell you what, black women didn't do nothing. Only person who said something was Dr. Umar. Black women didn't say shit. Y'all don't even like Candace Owens, and y'all celebrated that bitch getting married with a white guy. Y'all don't even like her. So, y'all don't even like Candace Owens. And Candace Owens, y'all was like, yes, bitch, yes. Kinda. Yes. Y'all did like a half one for Candace. Because y'all know Candace, she's kinda with us. She's with us when it's convenient. I love Eve. She's the hip hop Mary J. Blige. They be doing them fucked up dances. I call her the hip hop Mary J. Blige. The bitches can't dance for shit. The bitches can't dance or skip. I don't know. For some reason, when Eve married a white guy, I didn't really care like that. I don't know. I don't know why. I felt like black men didn't lose, and not like she's a bad woman or nothing. She looked good. When I looked at Eve, to be honest, every time I looked at Eve, I always thought Eve was like a stud. Eve gave, like, if I were to find out that Steve and like Queen Latifah secretly got a relationship, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Really, Eve probably like girls, or is she bisexual? Something about Eve. Yeah.
He was basically talking about black women. I'm to the point where I don't care who you deal with, just don't put other people down in the process. And typically, whenever black women do date white men, they don't put down black men in the process.
That is bullshit. That's not true. Y'all lost my mic. But for real, y'all, they lying. That's not true. Y'all just give me a second for my stream deck to come back on. But yeah, they lying. Give it a second. Only take like 20 seconds. Stupid Rodecaster. There we go. All right. Let's make sure we can be heard. Let's go here. There we go. Ecamm live audio, I think, is where we're supposed to be. Okay. My bad, y'all. I lost my mic in the middle of everything. Amazement 17 says, Eve was a pit bull in a skirt until she married a black man. They don't even think we deserve their best behavior. Right, or until she married a white man, I think is what you meant to say. And, I've seen that too. I've also seen high-profile relationships with black women, and they date. When they're in a relationship with the black man, it's like chaos, and it's nothing but fighting and DV and a bunch of different like lies, IG lives, and all that other type of stuff. But then when they get with a white guy, they just be so behaved. Even if it don't work out, they be like so gracious during the split, and they just be so professional. but we're like they reserve the worst of themselves. Have you ever seen a picture of Eve? Have you ever seen a picture of Eve with the little white family she married into? She just be sitting up just. I'll be like, you fake bitch. I can't help it. I want to be happy for her, but I'm like, bitch, you phony as hell. I'll be like, it ain't gonna work. It looked like it is though. And it's funny. What was actually very ironic about this is that the girls, they were just talking about how white women, they know how to play their cards right. They just know how to be a little bit more strategic. They just know how to behave and to make it all the way to the end. It's like, that's what kind of being a woman sort of is. And so that's what hypergamy is all about. Hypergamy means you're basically there just for the money, really. And all the other stuff, you're kind of just doing what you got to do. And that might sound harsh, but it's nature. But it's funny, when y'all are dealing with a white guy, y'all get that same strategic mindset. When we see little clips of y'all with y'all little white man, y'all be behaved, y'all might even put one hand on the other, do some shit you never did in the hood. Even Michelle didn't even know what to do when she got around royalty. She kissed the queen and touched the queen, did all this other silly shit. Even Michelle Obama didn't even know what to do when she got out around elegance. It was like, bitch, you don't touch the queen, are you stupid? Never bring this bitch back here.
Because I follow like the WAGs page. I'm obsessed with it. And L'Oreal's Sergeant WAGs, Wives and Girlfriends of like NFL players. And it's like a whole page or whatever. But most of those women there are Black. They're either Black or Hispanic, all of them. So I think that it's just that whenever white women do tend to date, they always tend to date up for the most part, and it's more easily accessible. So they're dating the actors, they're dating the tycoons, they're dating the athletes, and it's easier for us to see that as opposed to the Black women. But
I think we also we gotta mention too. I just think the big word, it's not submissive. I think more white women are intentional than Black women. And what I mean by intentional, meaning that like I see more white women shooting a shot than Black women.
Me too.
And like when they go after a guy, they don't care. They just shoot their shot and they just stay.
Now, my first time, I when I was doing some audio engineering for an artist a couple of years back, I lived in a very cool town called in Mandan, North Dakota. Nothing but white people out there. I promise y'all, I was in my area code, I was the only Black person, me and the guy that I had moved out there with. And it was just wild experience. Culturally for sure. Never felt blacker anywhere. And the women were like the women were very good looking, but and I never was really into white girls like that, but they had really good looking white girls, and they just were very friendly, very like not afraid to tell you that they think you're attractive or that they find you interesting or whatever the case may be, ask you your name, ask you your age. And I remember quickly thinking like, oh man, the good looking Black women, if they just utilize their amazing social skills and their wit and their humor even, to just be more personable to men, they get so much more. White women kind of pay attention to the detailed, nuanced things that Black women are kind of like, whatever. If he don't want to deal with how I come, then whatever. Far East Bismarck, yeah. Yeah, somebody's been down. For real. Yeah, it's a weird stomping ground. Much love for the audio update. Thanks, Icy. I be needing to know. Okay. Let's get back into it.
And they're persistent.
You don't perceive that as masculine?
East Bismarck, yep.
Nah, all my girlfriends pursued me. I didn't initiate conversation first.
And you're not
Oil money.
You were skeptical
Real
of
men
that?
making real money with that oil.
Men think they're the prize.
Here, Molly.
Fact.
Can I ask you something, Brandon? If it was a black woman that ever approached you, would you be receptive to that, or?
Actually, I was very receptive, and that was actually within the last year. A woman approached me, and we started talking and chatting, and then we went out on a date. I think for me, it was the fact that she had a kid, and I just wasn't going to pursue it further. And I'm finding that to be more the trend as I'm getting older. Like, I'm 27, but like out of the two black women that approached me, they had, both of them had kids.
Damn.
None of the white women
ever approach anybody? Have you ever approached someone to pursue her?
No. I'll be honest. I'm very busy, so like a majority of my day is either spent working, studying. So oftentimes when I'm going about my daily life, I'm not really going out of my way to identify a woman I want. Oftentimes I'll just be out doing something. Like good examples, like when I met my last girlfriend, we were together for 3 years. I was just chilling in the back of the club, just waiting for my friends to come because we were supposed to hang out. She saw me by myself sitting at the table, and she came and asked me like, "Hey, why are you sitting alone?" And then from there, we just got to chatting it up. And she made it really easy. Like, she made it very clear, like she liked me and stuff like that.
That wasn't predatory to you?
What?
What?
Nah.
How the hell is that?
I wouldn't say predatory.
What in the hell are you talking about, sister? Lady, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Men don't see any advance from a woman as like predator. What are you talking about? I hope that she's going to elaborate further, because I have no idea what the hell she meant by that. I hope you black women don't think that you guys are just supposed to say something negative in response to everything that's in regards to like a white woman, and that makes you more like down with the people. Like, stop. What are you talking about?
Because sometimes
white women
black men.
But wait, why does that jump like that? Because I've
yeah, and she's like because sometimes white women sabotage black men. She got that look that black mothers have when they're like concerned for their child, but she's not concerned for black men. She doesn't care. This is just about putting black women in a good light, moving white women into a negative light. And yes, there have been some white women who might have been like a plan or some sort of like agent to hurt a powerful black man. But outside of some elaborate example like that, can we stay on just stay on the ground with this one? Like, look how far y'all are going to try to validate these bad arguments. You're going all up everywhere in the hypotheticals. Oh, girl was creating up men who don't exist. Yeah, guys be asking about your credit. It'd be like, that who? What men? What are you talking about?
And my exes when we dated. So you guys are thinking like, oh.
Much love to Angelo. I'm pausing the show for the monies. Angelo says, let's keep it a buck. Black women date the guys they can flex on their friends with. That's why they all chase the same type of guy. Hive mind on 100. Yeah. I don't see an issue with that comment. Thank you very much for your contribution. I don't see any issue with that. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. I already rated it.
We doing it in a masculine ass way like these men do it. We don't do it like that. Like, and there's some men that don't need to get approached because there's women that are going to go after them because the way they look or how they're acting.
That is true.
We can't assume, oh, this white woman is approaching this black man because, she might got a fetish. That is wild. That is wild to assume that.
Yeah, and the fact that she made that jump with nothing to go off of proves that, like, our women are looking for bitterness. Like, they go to extremes, bad faith arguments. They like every hypothetical that they put a black man in, he's either at a disadvantage or he's getting robbed.
That's a lot more common than you think, Q. And I've heard that a lot from Black men. I've also heard it from a few white women.
But the same way you just said you don't think it's predatory, or you don't think the way that Brandon said it was, is he feels like it's intentional.
Can intentional?
So he feels like
can intentional and predatory be synonymous in this situation?
Lay down.
I think that it's just a little bit concerning, only because
I can't even believe that she's even using this
I don't
language.
have an issue because, like, I will approach men as well, depending, because most of the time men just stare, and I'm like, okay, let me introduce myself since you over here staring at me. That's kind of how I am. But I think that with Brandon, my only concern is that you said that you've never approached a woman.
No,
So,
I
like,
didn't say I never approached, but I'll say like.
oh, okay, I thought I heard never.
I'll say for like the last 5 years, I haven't approached not one woman.
Why is that bothersome to y'all that he don't approach?
I was just about to ask that.
It's bothersome to me only because he said, like they were mentioning, that white women tend to be more intentional. So it's not like it doesn't raise red flags to you when all of these women just kind of come to you and like on a consistent basis. You said within the last 5 years.
No, maybe it just says that they are more intentional than your women are. Just because you all have negative views about these women's behavior, if the men perceive it as something positive, that's all that matters. Like, that's what y'all don't get. That's what y'all are missing. That if the men if the men perceive it as something positive, who cares about what like some couple questionable hyenas have to say about it? When the men have already, when the guy just said how he feels about it. You don't think that that's a little bit predatory? No. No. Some of us have been in real situations like that. Dated a woman, and the next thing you know, the next 3 guys who she date, they all light-skinned Black men with green eyes. Bitch. But yeah, some of these women are actually out here, and y'all be acting like, one day I'll tell y'all about the one white girl I tried. I tried it. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Or maybe I already have. Some of y'all have been with me for the long haul. I tried to date one white girl. Didn't work out. She was a good girl, but just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I think her whiteness made me sick. I think her whiteness made my stomach hurt.
Predatory.
Well, the two black women are
predatory though. But
what is the predatory part? Why do you keep mentioning predatory?
Yeah, why do you keep? They keep throwing these evil words in there. It's like
women. Like, why do you keep talking about predatory? Are you looking at the white women?
She's talking about fetishizing men. That's Black men. That's what she's referring to.
Okay, so it's limited to non-Black women.
Shoot, I'll be honest. They can use me too. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm just curious because it seems
like do you guys understand what men
with
like? Do you guys
actions based off of race?
Do y'all understand who men are? What we are? Do y'all think we walk around saying stuff like, "Nah, man, she was preying on me"? Like, even when I found out, like when I did, like I'll tell y'all a little bit. Even when I dated the white chick and I found out that like she kind of had like a type of Black guy, I still couldn't like jump to the conclusion that it was fetish. It was conflicting. I was like, I don't know what to think. But it didn't really matter because she wasn't my problem no more. Like, you know, but we've all seen it. Some white girls are trying to date you because they daddy mad, but that's an extreme. Like, you got to keep these conversations just on general. It's all type of extremes.
No, not necessarily.
I'm not saying that
if he got approached by a Black woman, would you ask him if he thought that was predatory as well?
No, because that's not the subject.
So it's a race thing. So I'm confused.
No, it's not. For me, I'm not saying predatory. For me,
they shouldn't let Jess argue for them. Jess is a terrible black woman spokesman.
I mean, a fact
She's
is
awful.
a fact. White women do fetishize black men, so I understand what Jess was saying. I'm not saying they all do, but what I'm saying is that you do hear them say, "Oh, I want a nice chocolate baby, and I want a man that looks like this."
Don't you want a nice chocolate baby?
It's not a like
hey, y'all come with the mayonnaise jokes all y'all want. I dated the fine white girl. I didn't date the big pimply, gross looking white girls. I dated a good looking white girl who had a big old ass. Right? So again, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of that experience. I think I probably, out of all of my experiences, that's probably the dating experience I'm the least proud of. But she was no slouch. And that ass, nigga. Anywho.
I just want to get to know this man. It's not like a normal thing with them most of the time.
But all due respect, Jazz, don't you want a chocolate baby?
Well, yeah, because I'm pro-black.
So what's the difference?
I'm pro-black, so I'm gonna always want a chocolate baby. Why would a white woman want a chocolate baby though? Especially when
why can't you have a chocolate baby?
Miss
What's
Ava,
the problem with that?
if I may please, because just give me 1 second. So, if she wants to have a chocolate baby, that's fine. But it's just like, why?
Wait, so she got a tax return. Oh no! I don't deal with them. Like, if I'm gonna deal with a white girl, she's not gonna be needing no business talking. Motherfucking tax return. Please. Oh no, I ain't praying on no bunnies. And she had this brother. He was cool, but like he kind of cracked little jokes. He was kind of like a troublemaker, but he was the older brother, but he kind of cracked jokes. But I actually liked him though. He was cool. Just couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. It's just and it was before I had really cultivated like an idea of what white supremacy was and how I felt about it. I was just a more lackadaisical Negro at that time. That's the truth. I was far less just, we are, man, especially in our days where we're like trying to learn about our stuff and we're in our 20s. Don Sharp, that's great. And the truth is I think we've been through so much with like white people historically. I think one white woman is enough it's just a shame for like to solicit some level of shame. Like I take it, I take whatever shame is due to me. Even though I say that saying that like if there was more marriageable black women in the black community, I would tell black men to just stay exclusive to black women and not date white at all. Try to take more of a Dr. Umar-like stance, but I can't. And the crazy thing is, the ironic thing about me giving a white girl a chance at one particular time is because culturally, I realized we could have never survived. But when it comes to like it's funny that it's relevant to this conversation still to this day. I've never been served better, technically speaking. Like technically speaking, like no woman has actually been like as submissive and as like feminine as that young woman was. And that wasn't even when she was really in her marriage bag yet. She was just young and in college figuring it out. But I remember I used to come to her crib and she used to do something to me that no other woman would do. She would like start taking off my stuff for me. And I'd be like, oh, this is nice. This is a nice way to come home. It was just like little shit. And she wouldn't say nothing. She would just be talking like, how you doing? Taking my boot, undoing my little boots. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, dang. I was like, white men, why do you guys kill your wives so often? Like, why are you guys always murdering your wives? They're so sweet. But then we had that Black Lives Matter conversation. Let's just say I went home early that evening. I remember it was in like the height of like somebody had gotten shot. This was a black person who had gotten shot. I forgot what happened. And I remember we were watching the news thing together, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, bitch, don't talk about it. Bitch, don't try to 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 talk about it. And then she was like, I could see her kind of sitting there like awkwardly, like, and she just was like, I really don't see color. I was like, oh God, no. We got in an argument. I end up driving all the way back to South Bend from the lake house that like we were at in like Berrien Springs or something like that. And it just was bad. It was a bad blowout argument. It actually that's what actually dissolved the relationship. Like we literally got into an argument over like, you know, racial and social injustice, and her points of views were too like, and looking back on it, I know that it was because she was raised around a family that really wasn't racist like that. So she was that more like loose hippie ignorant, not like bigoted ignorant. She was like that hippie white girl, like one love, like, yeah, we all got the same blood kinda, right? It's like, yeah, but say that to the hangman. Like, y'all be talking about some, oh, white people be like, we all got skin, and we really, if you cut us open, we really are the same. It's like, tell that to the white supremacists. This just me and you talking. But like, but tell your people. She did. And I'll admit it. And I remember, I felt bad because I felt like I wasted both of our time. Because I got somewhere that I think I would have inevitably gotten to anyway. And I thought about like, man, what if I would have actually gotten married to this chick? Like, what if I would actually like took a lunge with this chick, and then we would have had this conversation after I had her locked into a marriage. Oh my God, the horror. Y'all can go get Dr. Umar. Tell him come get me. It's all right. I don't mind taking my lashings.
Why? As
long as they're not sexual ones. Why not?
White parents will want specifically a black child, knowing that there are such cultural differences. There's a whole entire way that you have to raise black children in this country. I know y'all swear that's all a fallacy, but the reality is just that. Y'all, okay? I know you think, Ava, I know you think racism don't exist, baby.
For this one,
but it does. All right.
So,
and unfortunately, give me 1 second. Excuse me, ma'am. Why are you so ready? Why are you so ready? We get it. You hate black people. We get it. Let me finish though. Before you so ready to jump on black folks, calm down. Ain't you a little black? Relax. You're weird. I'm weird, but you're the one cutting me off, calling me weird because you just can't hold yourself to talk crazy about black people. You still weird. Okay, well, let me be weird. Let me finish my thought. What are you talking about? This is weird. This is weird because I'm not even talking to you.
Oh my God.
I'm talking to you though. We good. But I'm not. No, we not.
Let her finish, and then Ava can go.
Like, girl.
And I want to jump in too.
It's ridiculous. So all I'm saying is this: if you want to, I ain't even gonna get into the whole kid thing. It is a known fact that these white women do fetishize and kind of prey on black men, specifically for reasons outside of actually appreciating and loving that black man.
Hold on, wait a second. Because hypergamy says none of you guys are with us because you're just appreciating us for us. Let's just quickly talk about hypergamy for just a moment. Because hypergamy means that y'all are all trying to get our, like, money is where y'all start, and then y'all work y'all way to like and all the other stuff. Hypergamy is what actually keeps you there. Money. And that's no matter who you're dealing with. So why are white women in like a worse position if they're thinking from a hypergamous standpoint in direction of a black man? It's predatorial now. But if you look at a black man and you want him, because again, y'all not willing to love no black man just for him if he never pays anything or do anything. So how are you different than the white girl? You just don't want her with your men. And my thing is, if you don't want them with your men, here's what you do: have more pride about your men. Act like you care about what your men are talking about. We don't believe y'all when y'all get defense. Y'all only start playing defense in front of black men until y'all see white women. Then y'all be like, why y'all want to mess with black men? Like, black men, y'all see them predators? It's like, man, stop it.
Right? So that's where the fetishization kind of comes into play. And shit, I kind of lost my train of thought.
I hear what you're saying. So can I ask you the reason why?
Let Ava go, and then you can go. Ava,
Okay.
do you want to talk? I mean, you want to say something? Okay, go ahead.
No, it's just weird. I just don't understand. Like, y'all are fucking living in like this fucking twilight zone. That shit is blowing my fucking mind. Why would a white woman want a black baby?
You in a
Because
twilight
that's
zone.
what she
You gotta do one
wants.
mic, Jazz. You gotta do one
I
mic.
remember what I wanted to say now.
What you
I remember
mean?
now.
What
I
you
remember.
mean?
It
Well,
came back
you
to me.
wait a
Hey,
minute.
Jazz,
What
let her
you
finish.
mean? Why would a white woman want a black? Everybody's not the same. This white woman, she loves black men. She want a mixed child. She want a black baby. So what? So y'all are this shit is jealousy at the end of the fucking day.
Girl,
it boils down
please.
to nothing but jealousy. Y'all are so jealous of white women for what reason I do not know.
Girl,
y'all
go to
supposed
hell
be the
right
be
now.
all end
Go
all.
to hell
Hold
right
on.
now.
Y'all supposed to be
Go
to hell
the be
right
all
now.
end all
One mic,
for
Jazz.
fucking
You gotta do
women,
one.
right? I thought black woman was the fucking prize. I thought black woman was the shit. I thought black woman was the be all end all. Y'all are so jealous of white women. It's insane. And black women are so dope that you really don't even have no reason to have all this damn hate and ill in your heart because a white woman want to have a black baby. What is this? 1892?
We're jealous and we got hate in heart. Wait a minute, we got hate in our heart, but a grown ass.
Now, here's why I defend her position that y'all could be jealous and it could be envy. Because your reasons aren't good. That's why I would assume that jealousy could be the problem. Because you guys' reasons aren't good. You're going to far-fetched things to try to discredit white women in the conversation. You're saying stuff like, oh, well, what if they're just trying to prey on you? What if their intentions aren't good? What if they just want to steal? What if they're only getting with you to have a black baby? It's like, aren't you getting with a black man to have a black baby? Now, if you're looking at it from the Dr. Umar standpoint, like, oh, you're just breeding genetic diversity into their side, and you're looking at it like that, okay, whatever. But it don't look like you're looking at it like that. It looks like it's just a very casual, loose perspective. And I don't agree with Dr. Umar's perspective. We don't have enough marriageable women for black men to just say, no white girls, no white, like black girls forever, black queens forever. It's like, what if the black queens aren't listening to the black men and they don't care about what we're talking about? Still black queens forever, even if we have no options? Okay.
But a grown ass white woman sat there and looked at a black child and called it the N-word. But we're the haters. We're the jealousy ones. No. You can shut up right now, Ava, because you sounding real crazy, and it's not contributing to the thing. Like I said,
your fucking mouth. But when a white woman has reached her level and she say some shit, it's the end of the fucking world. But
yes, it is, because you shouldn't be okay with racism.
It's
a problem.
And call them everything in the world. But when they say something, it's a problem. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man, it's getting hot. King Adams says, the broke is dusty, jealousy and insecurity. She's right. Okay. Much love, man. Thank you for that comment.
Why you fucking body?
Why are you so okay with racism? Why are you so okay with racism?
Now she's saying, why are you so okay with racism? Why are you so okay with racism? Now you're gonna do the whole Karen thing and try to like corner her with PC. a little bit. I couldn't let her keep playing because she's cursing so much. Who even knows if this would be monetized? I had no idea that Ava would be so colorful in her language, but it is what it is. It was a great show. We made gold, which is awesome. Shouts out to the person who came through and sponsored the shows. I believe it was Scorp God, but I think we had somebody who donated. No. Eugene Roseborough is today's show sponsor, and shouts out to him and everybody who came through and supported. I'm getting ready to take off. Shouts out to Anton and everything they've been doing over there, and to everybody on that panel. Didn't mean any disrespect. It's just what I do. It's what I do for a living. I break down and I analyze dating and relationship conversations. And I try to entertain people while I do it. I meant everything that I said, though, but there's no hard feelings. I don't even know any of you people. But some of you really do need some help. Therapy. I don't know. Hey, some like group meeting, group think, something. A lot of you women are really tarnished. You need help. And again, I think one of the biggest takeaways from this is that I don't think our women are willing to be honest about how they really feel about certain positions that they have in this conversation. And until they're willing to be honest, it's just going to be very difficult for us to have these conversations with Black women. But much love, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. I will see you guys tomorrow with another show, with the show that you guys earned. Take care, guys. Have a good rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. SOUNDEFFECT.